we're going to draw a Chibi character, or at least the way I draw Chibi characters. So I have here a character. This is Gin. She's my original character. She's a gnome, a wizard, and we're going to turn her into a Chibi. You might notice that her proportions are already quite small, like she has a head here, the body is very petite, but there's still a lot of things that you can do to make it look more Chibi. One of the things, for example, is the head. For me, when I draw in a Chibi style, I draw the head very big, and it's actually usually the measure for the rest of the body. So I have here a big circle for the head. Obviously not a perfect circle, but that's okay. I'm going to just add here some guidelines so I know where everything is in the face. Like this. I'm going to use this head for the body, so I'm going to come up over here and duplicate the layer, and bam, we have the body. Now of course I will be changing the body shapes here a little bit. For example, we want it to go a bit like this, in this direction. It's all about shapes. Whenever we're trying to create something new, all we have to do is think about the shapes we want to use. You can also shape here the head a little bit. I can add some ears, so she has pointy ears, right? We can exaggerate the size of the ears here a little bit. Just a very rough sketch. We're going to do something a bit more detailed later on. So there we go, we have here our ears, our head, and the body. As you can see, here the head is pretty proportional to the rest. She has a very long neck. Here she doesn't, there's almost no neck at all. So you can understand better the measurements. I'm going to put up some guidelines. Now another one here, so there we go, we have here one of our measurements, and then another. So as you can see, from the top of the head to the chin, it's one measurement, and then the body, the whole torso, is the same one. These have the same measurements. We're going to add the measurement for the legs. So I said that the legs are more or less this size, right? I'm going to make here another guideline. And now I'm going to copy these two. There we go. And now we have everything we need to finish drawing our Chibi. Now usually I don't use these guidelines anymore, these lines here, but if you're still not very used to drawing a Chibi character or any kind of character really, using this can be very helpful. Alright, so legs are done. For the arms I'm going to do something like this. They go up to here, the waistline. I like to draw very small and thin arms, like this. I like to draw my Chibis a bit more chubby. As you can see, it's already very different from what I have here. She's a bit more chubby, gives her more of a cute look. She's already cute here, at least I think she is, but her proportions are very different. So now it's time to draw a sketch, a more detailed sketch of everything, because we're missing the hair here, we're missing the face, the clothing, and we need to add those things. So I'm going to add some transparency here, so we can still see our base shapes, and now a new layer on top. And I'm going to start drawing her a bit more detailed. Of course, remember, this is not the only way for you to draw a Chibi. There are many different styles. I always recommend looking for some references. This is the way I go about it most of the times. Now she has a very wild hair. So for example here, one thing I'm doing differently is I'm making these lines a bit rounder, so it makes it even more cute. Again, the round corners here instead of spiky. Now for the clothing here, I'm not going to draw her coat or her belt. I kind of want to draw her dress only and the apron. So as you can see, one thing about the Chibi characters, at least with my Chibi characters, is that I simplify my shapes a lot. So now the face. I'm leaving the face for the last because I do the faces very differently. Well, they're not as different. For example, the main difference is the eyes. For the eyes, I just go with this. Very simple eyes. Just 2 dots like this. And the eyebrows. She has some freckles, right? And then the mouth. Again, I do the mouth very simply, like this, for example. But she has a smile. I could try and add it, that kind of smile. I want to keep the teeth, so going with this. As you can see, it's definitely the same character. You can see there are the same kind of traits. So there are things that you look at and you can still recognize Gin. You still can recognize this character, but her shapes are very different. Now that we have this, we can draw our line art. As you can see, her face is even rounder here. And of course you can go as detailed as you want. For example, a lot of Chibi styles actually have a lot of detail. For example, the eyes can be so full of details. They have lots of colors to them, they have lots of shinies and highlights. It's up to your own tastes and your style. One thing that I like about this kind of style, the Chibi style, is that it's a very quick way of drawing. So if you want to keep things simple, you want to draw something very simple and quick, you don't have a lot of time, then you can draw a Chibi character. When you read some webcomics, you'll notice that the style for them is very simple because they do have deadlines and they have to draw more than one panel, and it's a bit hard to draw all those panels in such a short time, so it is easier to go and create a simpler style for you. And for me, it was going for this Chibi style. I really think she looks like a little doll that you can play with. I wouldn't mind having one like this. If I knew how to sew at all, I would make a doll like this. Okay, so everything's done. We have here the line art, and now I'm going to add some color to her. So we kind of have here, let me just move everything a little bit. But yes, I have here a new layer, my paint bucket, and I'm just going to pick up the colors that I already have for her. Those are her colors and I want to keep them. Now notice how, for example, here the hairbands that I use, they have here some detail. Let me zoom in. So here they have a little bit of detail, not a lot, it's something very simple, but here I didn't add anything at all. It's just one line for the hairband and that's it. And the same goes for the hair, like here we have lots of spikes. I drew a lot of them, and here I kept as simple as possible, just very simple shapes, and that's it. Now the dress, the apron is white, and this is mostly it. So even when we color, we see how simplified this version is. Again, I feel like this is very close to a doll when you do a handmade doll. So these are the shapes that we used for our Chibi drawing. And from then on, when you have these shapes down, you just need to add details. You just need to choose how you want the clothes to be, the hair, the eyes, the colors. I think it's a really fun exercise, and if you want to do simple drawings, then Chibi drawings can really help you with that. So pick up your sketchbook and fill it up with Chibi characters, be it your characters, fan art of other people's characters or series that you like. And if you like this video, remember to like, subscribe, hit that bell button so you're notified for more videos, and as always, keep on drawing.